Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. Then I'm going to be giving you the latest news on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. Haven't spoke with you about him for quite a while. And also then I'm going to be giving you some more additional information on Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, because there is huge developments on him. Then a bit later on in the video I will delve into more topics. So let's start with the news on Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. I think I mentioned this yesterday. So according to the Daily Mail, Manchester United are considering making a move for Leon Bailey. Now, reportedly, we are seeing Leon Bailey as a cheaper alternative, to the likes of Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. Now, reportedly, Leon Bailey is available for around £40 million. Now, of course, he's predominantly left-footed and he is predominantly a left winger, but I think he can also play as a right winger as well. So do you think if he came to Manchester United he would fit in? Do you think he'd go well alongside the likes of Rashford, Greenwood and Martial and that in our attacking line? He is only at the age of 22. He has got a contract with Bayer Leverkusen, I think, until 2023, so he has still got a few years left on his contract. For Bayer Leverkusen, I think he's made around 110 appearances. Leverkusen did buy him in 2017 from Genk. I think they paid around 20 million euros for the player. But yeah, like I said, it would be a much cheaper alternative than Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. So he's the latest player to be on Manchester United's agenda. And don't forget, we are in search for a winner. But there has been a few players from the Bundesliga on our agenda. But he's got good physical attributes as this player. So that is the latest news on Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, let's delve into the news on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. So the news is on Jude Bellingham is that reportedly Borussia Dortmund are struggling to complete a deal for Birmingham's Jude Bellingham. Reportedly, Borussia Dortmund have got reservations about paying, Jude Bellingham's fee. So reflects on this, maybe we've got a second chance now to try and get Jude Bellingham on the board, because don't forget, Man United have been in for him. Now, don't forget, reports were stemming from the German press, was it the other week, saying that, Borussia Dortmund have agreed to get Jude Bellingham. It also said back in March from the German press that Borussia Dortmund were emerged as the favourites. Now, Christian Falk, who's a German football expert, he actually said that Jude Bellingham has decided to join Borussia Dortmund instead of Manchester United. Now, Christian Falk did say that personal terms have been agreed. He did say, Borussia Dortmund have agreed personal terms with the player, but they've not agreed personal terms with Birmingham City. So maybe there's still a possibility chance that Man United could get Jude Bellingham on the board. Now, don't forget, we already made a promise to Jude Bellingham if he signs for Man United in the summer transfer window. We said, he will immediately become a first-team player. He did say quite a few weeks ago as well that we wanted to get Jude Bellingham's brother as part of the deal. His brother is Jude Bellingham. I think he's only at the age of 15. A couple of weeks ago, Pep Cloytek, the Birmingham boss, announced that he will be leaving Birmingham City at the end of the season. This is what Pep Cloytek did say. Birmingham did say, that they do want the full cash amount up front if they are to offload Jude Bellingham, and it did say the deal could be worth around £50 million and all of that. But Jude Bellingham got to make an admission, he has been a revelation in the Championship for Birmingham. I think he's played around 30-odd games in the Championship this season. Don't forget, Jude Bellingham became the youngest player to represent Birmingham. He made his debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days. He is 16 years of age at the moment, is Jude Bellingham. Reportedly, it said when he turns 17, he's expected to sign his professional contract because at the moment, Jude Bellingham's only on £145 a week. Don't forget, back in March, Jude Bellingham had visited our Carrington training ground to obviously hold talks with Ed Woodward and also to hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson, and it was actually Ed Woodward that held talks with his parents. That was back in March, yes, so that did, fuel quite a bit of speculation up, you know. But, Jude Bellingham's versatility is very, very good. It really, really is in that. Some people think, he's not Premier League standard as yet, and some people think maybe he needs another season in the Championship with Birmingham, to gain a bit more experience and to emulate to that level. But I think Birmingham are looking to cash in for the player, to resolve their financial issues. Don't forget Jude Bellingham's father the other week urged Jude Bellingham to reject Manchester United and go to Borussia Dortmund. Chelsea have also been in for him in the past. But up until this point, Jude Bellingham has spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. He has been a Birmingham City player since the age of 8 as Jude Bellingham. So he was in their youth setup for several years. So there's been a twist now in the Jude Bellingham transfer saga because Dortmund have got reservations about paying that fee for him. There's no fee that's been agreed between Borussia Dortmund and Birmingham. But maybe, Borussia Dortmund getting Jude Bellingham, depends on, if they can sell Jadon Sancho or not, so let's just put that into the equation. So that is the latest news anyway on Jude Bellingham. Just wanted to give you the news on that. Now, let's delve into the news on Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. So, according to recent reports, Manchester United will have to pay £80 million for Jack Grealish. Aston Villa have confirmed this and they do remain ruthless over their valuation. Now, maybe we've got strong reservations about paying £80 million for Jack Grealish, but there again, Aston Villa did say, that they will not give up hope on keeping Jack Grealish if they do stay up. So maybe if they do stay up, then, they believe they can convince Jack Grealish to stay. Obviously, if Aston Villa do get relegated, then, probably, they won't be able to keep Jack Grealish. But I think Jack Grealish did say, regardless whether they get relegated or not, he still wants to leave Aston Villa. This got confirmed a couple of days ago. Grealish did say he's desperate to join Manchester United. And if Villa were to get relegated, probably Grealish wouldn't cost £80 million anyway. He did say not too long ago we was preparing to put around the £75 million bidding for Jack Grealish. It also says, we are willing to offer him a £150,000 a week contract. Did say a couple of weeks ago that actually Jack Grealish is our number one priority target. But, we have been in for him for quite some time. But, there has been a few clubs that have been in for Jack Grealish. Now, we've already revealed that Jack Grealish is our preference over James Maddison. We said that earlier on in the season. The couple of main explanations why is our preference over James Maddison is because he's more versatile than Maddison. His stats throughout the course of this season have been better than Maddison's, and he's actually no cheaper solution than James Maddison is Jack Grealish. Now, he's well proven in that in the Premier League. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6. He was in their youth setup for several years. He's been in their senior squad since 2014. And since then has become an integral part of their team as Jack Grealish. He was key for Villa getting promotion to the Premier League. He was key for Villa, progressing to the Carabao Cup final. And Grealish has got a contract still with Aston Villa until 2023. But got to make an admission, he has flourished under Dean Smith's guidance. Grealish can play as an attacking midfielder and he can also play as a winner. Versatility very, very good. I think for the vast majority of this season for Villa, he has been playing on that left-hand side as Jack Grealish. And he is only at the age of 24, I think. So yeah, Villa have said, they do want £80 million. There were stories coming out a while back saying that, we could offer up to 5 of our players to obviously, get Jack Grealish on the board. Did say quite a few weeks ago that Jack Grealish's move to Man United could depend on Paul Pogba's future and all of that. But there you go. So that's the latest news on Jack Grealish. You obviously know the news on Jadon Sancho, don't you, from Borussia Dortmund and that. I don't know what's happened, with Jadon Sancho, to be quite honest with you, because, there's different things regarding Jadon Sancho coming out of the mainstream media like every single day. Yesterday, Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss, made an admission saying that, Jadon Sancho could still leave Borussia Dortmund in the summer transfer window, but he's unsure of what's going to happen with Jadon Sancho. Then, you had Borussia Dortmund's head of football earlier on this week saying that, Jadon Sancho, will stay at Dortmund for another year. And Borussia Dortmund's head of football is Sebastian Kehl, So, yeah, there's different things coming out regarding Sancho. It also says, we are not willing to pay Borussia Dortmund's asking price, because Dortmund have said that they do want at least £100 million for Sancho. Obviously, the Telegraph reported out last week saying, Dortmund could demand or will demand up to £115 million for Jadon Sancho. There's also stories being coming out saying that Sancho is willing to make a return to Manchester City because we are struggling to meet their asking price. Like I said, Jadon Sancho is a former Manchester City player. Of course, Jadon Sancho endured, 2 years at Man City. The main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get any first team opportunities. Of course, Man City sold him to Dortmund in 2017 for just £8 million. So Dortmund, basically looking to make a huge profit on the player. But analysing Jadon Sancho's performances in the few years he has been with Borussia Dortmund, this is the main explanation why his valuation has persistently grown. This has been Jadon Sancho's third season with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund have been in the process of trying to extend his contract, but he's not willing to extend his contract. He has got a contract with Dortmund still until 2022 as Jadon Sancho. Don't forget as well, Sancho's been talking with Rashford a lot. Because obviously, Marcus Rashford did say earlier on in the season that he wants Jadon Sancho at Man United next season because, to be fair, they have got a very, very good friendship. Dortmund also said the other week that they are losing patience with Jadon Sancho. Something to do with his off-field distractions, and the other week Sancho had been fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules. Something to do with that haircut picture thing that I actually got fined for. But yeah, Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. There were stories coming out from League 10 Sport not too long ago saying that Liverpool were leading the race for Sancho, but says Liverpool's move for Sancho hinges on Sadio Mane. Chelsea, of course, have been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. Madrid have been in for him before, so he has been subjected to so much transfer speculation. But I think Sancho did reveal that his preferred option would be a move to Manchester United if he did leave Borussia Dortmund. Didn't it say a couple of months ago that Jadon Sancho had agreed almost every little detail of a move to Manchester United? Like it said, the contract and the terms and that had been agreed. He just said that a fee wasn't agreed between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund. That has actually been the stumbling block, has the fee. Because we've been hoping to get Jadon Sancho for maybe around 60, 70, maybe 80 million pounds. But obviously that's not going to be enough to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him. We have already made a promise to Jadon Sancho. We did say that we will offer him the number 7 if he comes to Man United in the summer transfer window. Because as you all know, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, and we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. But like I said, we have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract for quite some time, and we've also been in negotiations with his agent. Like I said, Borussia Dortmund are known as a selling football club because they have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. There's players that have let go who didn't go to the Premier League. But there again, Dortmund have recruited quite a few players in recent years. So there's still a possibility chance Sancho will leave in the summer transfer window, but there's also a chance, that he could remain at Dortmund for next season. Earlier on this week, Gareth Southgate was talking about Sancho, saying that he has no element of concerns regarding his future, and Gareth Southgate believes that Sancho doesn't need to leave Borussia Dortmund to succeed. But Jadon Sancho's been our number one priority target, for several years. I think we first expressed our interest in him in 2017. But maybe, us getting Sancho hinges on Champions League qualification. So if we can get Champions League qualification, then I think we've got a better chance of getting him. If we don't get Champions League qualification, then, he probably won't come to the football club and that. Because we need Champions League qualification anyway to attract players to the elite level. So the news on Sancho. But like I said, there's been a few alternatives on our agenda. Of course, if we do fail to sign Jadon Sancho, like I mentioned Leon Bailey early on in the video, and Samain Fati Vieira from Barcelona, he's been also another alternative to Sancho. Figo Almeida was mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Rabbi Matondo was mentioned a while back as well. So these cheaper alternative, than Sancho and Jack Grealish. So there you go. But anyway, that is the latest on all of the transfer news. Obviously, the news on Donny van der Beek. I give you the news on Donny van der Beek yesterday and that. It is saying Man United now are the favourites to sign Donny van der Beek from Ajax, because Real Madrid are backtracking their £49 million move for the player. So maybe there's a chance, we could sign Donny van der Beek. And also yesterday, I give you the news on Willian from Chelsea. So there has been so many players on our agenda, there really, really has. But there you go. I think, let's delve into another topic now. I think for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to remain in the Manchester United job for next season, there's one thing Manchester United need to do. We need to qualify for next season's Champions League. Obviously, to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the job. Now, as it stands at the moment, we are sitting 5th in the Premier League, and we are only 3 points behind Chelsea. I'm very, very convinced we can get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Now, don't forget, if Manchester City's 2-year European ban is upheld, then obviously, 5th place is a Champions League spot anyway. But obviously, if it isn't upheld, then obviously, we'll have to finish in the top 4 and all of that, We'll have to finish in the top 4, if it isn't upheld and that. But, we have got, 9 games remaining in the Premier League. There's 92 games to play in all competitions. And I've looked at our running. Like I've said to you, we've only got 2 hard games out of the 9 games we've got remaining. And that's Tottenham on Friday and Leicester, the last game of the season. They're the only 2 hard games we've got. So I think we should win at least 7 of the 9 games we have got remaining. So we should register at least 21 points. I think, regardless anyway, I think Solskjaer will be at Manchester United next season. Even if we weren't to get Champions League, I still think he would be here next season. Like I said, we have got quite a few priorities. Top 4's not only the priority, the FA Cup's a priority for us. Also, too, the Europa League's a priority for us, because that's a chance of us getting some silverware on the board under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We do play Norwich. In reality, we should progress to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We're 5-0 up against last from the first leg in the Europa League. So if we could win the FA Cup and the Europa League this season under Solskjaer, or at least one of them, it would be a great achievement, and it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because this has been his first full season at Manchester United. Solskjaer, of course, has been at the club now around, 18 months or just over 18 months. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 16 months now, is it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But like I said, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. Because I've given you the main explanations, because obviously, it is a transition period. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. And he does need at least a couple of more transfer windows. to recommend the players that, he wants to, give him a couple more transfer windows, to recommend, more players in and all of that. But give him at least another season because, not every manager does settle in straight away. United fans have got different verdicts on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some United fans think he's the foreseeable future for Manchester United and he can get us back to being a competitive elite level football club. Some United fans don't think Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for Man United. Some United fans have got reservations about him. Some United fans think we need to recommend the manager in. At the top level, for prime example, a Jurgen Klopp or, a Pep Guardiola and that. But, we will see how things, plan out. I'm very, very convinced, to be honest with you, that we can finish the season on a high. Obviously, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. So Solskjaer, will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up. He will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up and that. But like I've said to you, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. I think, we can have a competitive summer transfer window because, like I've mentioned, the vast majority of our top 6 rivals probably won't be in the summer transfer window and that. We're looking to make around 3 or 4 major signings at the end of the season because Solskjaer believes we need that many, to be title contenders next season. Of course, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer, because 3 of the 5 players that he has recommended in so far, of course, are British. And I'm willing to back Solskjaer, and I do trust him, for the summer transfer window because I made an admission, didn't I, saying, that I've seen improvements under Solskjaer, players have improved under him, especially the top players. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer as well. So hopefully he can get the right calibre players into the football club in the summer transfer window. Last week, it confirmed that our transfer budget for the summer has been revealed. Solskjaer has got around 269 or is it 270 million pounds to spend in the summer transfer window. So that should be enough, for us, to get the right calibre players into the football club. Let's also put into the equation as well that we are going to get rid of more of the deadwood in the summer transfer window. We're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We'll be looking to get rid of Rojo and Smalling on permanent transfers as well. Rojo is out on loan at Estudiantes at the moment. Smalling's out on loan with Roma. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira and all of that. You already know the news on Alexis Sanchez. There were stories coming out regarding Sanchez recently, saying that he's going to be given the final chance at Manchester United. So he's going to be coming back to Man United after his loan spell with Inter Milan. But, he will be a squad player, will Alexis Sanchez and that. Don't forget, Solskjaer did say back in January, Sanchez will come back to prove everybody wrong. Sanchez did endure a difficult 18 months at Manchester United. He really, really did. We got Sanchez in January 2018 as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal, and we thought Sanchez would have lived up to expectations at Man United, but obviously, he didn't. He failed to rediscover the form of what he produced at Arsenal and, Barcelona when he was younger under Pep Guardiola. But Sanchez, endured quite a lot of injuries when he was at Man United. He's also endured a very, very difficult time since he's gone out on loan with Inter Milan. I think he did dislocate his ankle, did Sanchez. So he was out for around 3 months, but I think he's now back, But yeah, Inter Milan did get him on a 10-month loan last summer. 10-month loan, yeah. Inter Milan have got no option to buy him, or there is no obligation to buy, Alexis Sanchez. But he will be staying at Inter Milan for the remainder of the season, so the news on him. So we get rid of players in the summer transfer window. We are going to generate more money that way. But, to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. I think we have seen a total of like 19 players leave since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, got recommended in and that. So yeah, and And, obviously, Solskjaer knows for the summer transfer window, he's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers as well. And like I said, I was very, very critical of Solskjaer earlier on in the season. A lot of Manchester United fans, were very, very critical of Solskjaer. Maybe some Man United fans still are critical of Solskjaer, but he hasn't only been the problem for the vast majority of this season. Like I said, being very, very critical of Ed Woodward. We've been critical of him for several years. And the main explanations is he's reflects on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Also, two of us overpaying for players, because we have overpaid for players in recent years. Let's be honest, 89 million for Pogba, 80 million for Maguire, 75 million for Lukaku, 50 million for Fred, 40 million for Matic. So we are known for overpaying for players. He's also been criticised, with his poor selection of managers as well. This is, another reason why Ed Woodward has been criticised. And we just don't like the way the football club's been run in the last 7 years or so. We've also been very, very critical of the Glazers as well. The Woodward's been at Man United since 2012, and the Glazers have been at Man United since 2005. So this has been Ed Woodward's 8th year at the club, and this has been 15 years, the Glazers have been at Manchester United and all of that. Ed Woodward, was talking the other month, and he even said, that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. But he did say, didn't he, we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market, due to the financial issues with this coronavirus pandemic. Don't forget, it confirmed around 3 weeks ago that our net debt had risen up by almost 130 million. So I think our net debt now in total is just over 429 million. There were stories coming out around 3 weeks ago saying that we'd taken a £140 million loan from our 150 million revolving credit facility, to help us get the right calibre players into the club. And, to help us through this coronavirus pandemic and all of that. But there you go. But yeah, like I said, I'm really, really looking forward to the game on Friday against Tottenham. I gave you my preview for the game yesterday, didn't I? Going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the game against Tottenham. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think we have got a tactical plan, by the way, to beat Tottenham. If we can approach this game against Tottenham, like we did do in the game against them early on the season at Old Trafford, I'm very, very convinced, we can beat them, because we did play very, very well against them in the game at Old Trafford earlier on the season. Like I mentioned, it was 2-1. So on Friday, Solskjaer goes head-to-head with Jose Mourinho. He's looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager, like I mentioned, because he's already overcome Jose Mourinho once. Jose Mourinho, don't forget, was talking earlier on this week. He has been telling people that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth at Manchester United and all of that. So yeah, Jose Mourinho will be reuniting with us. I think Solskjaer's got an idea of what 11 he is going to go with against Tottenham on Friday. He's got an idea. I think he does know his best 11 now, to be quite honest with you. I think he even knows his best 11, without Paul Pogba starting. And I've got an idea as well of what formation he's going to go with. He actually, could go with a 4-2-3-1. Solskjaer's been going with that formation on a regular basis this season, the 4-2-3-1. A few times he's gone with the 3-4-1-2. A few times he's gone with a 4-3-3. I think in the games against the likes of City and Chelsea, he went with a 5-3-2. But it'd be interesting to see, like I mentioned, how he does approach the game. And, like I said, our record against the big six sides this season's been very, very good. We've taken 17 points against the big six sides this season. So this is another one of the reasons why I'm very, very confident that we can beat Tottenham. You already know the team news anyway. We've got a fully fit squad. There was reports coming out earlier on this week saying that, Paul Pogba will be benched for the game against Tottenham. A lot of Manchester United fans do disagree with this, because there's no excuse to bench him, because now Paul Pogba's fully fit and all of that. And I did say, didn't I, I'm very, very excited about the prospects of him playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield and all of that. We know now that Marcus Rashford is back, which is very, very good. Give you some of Tottenham's team news as well, didn't I? Of course, they've got Tanganga out with injury. They've also got Troy Parrott out. Bad news as well from a Tottenham perspective. Dele Alli, will not be involved in the game because he got a 1-game suspension from the FA for them coronavirus offensive social media posts, and he'd been fined around £50,000. But the good news is, from a Tottenham perspective, they have got Harry Kane back. They've also got Human Son back as well. But this is the game of the season. Tottenham and Manchester United. It really, really is. If we don't win this game against Tottenham, maybe you can say top four's over. But same thing with Tottenham, if they don't win that game on Friday, probably their top four ambitions will be over as well. Because that's all they've got to play for now, Tottenham, because, Tottenham can't win anything in terms of silverware. They're not in the Champions League, they're not in the FA Cup and all of that. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting game, And, it's good that football's back now. The games tonight are Manchester City and Arsenal, Sheffield United, Aston Villa. Because, I said, didn't I, Premier League's been suspended, for around 3 months. Don't forget as well, before the football season got suspended, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was said, that a lot needed to be changed at Manchester United since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. Credit Solskjaer as well, because he's promoted the youth very, very well. Like I said, the young players have been given their chances. Greenwood's done well, Brandon Williams has done well, but there again, some young players have found game time difficult. Angel Gomez has found game time hard. Tahith Chong, and James Garner, they've all found game time very, very hard as well. Like I said, there's probably some decisions Man United have got to make ahead of next season, and all of that. Like who's going to be our first choice left back. We are facing a dilemma at left back, but I think for the remainder of this season, probably Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. Williams will be the backup, but maybe next season Williams, could be our first choice left back. We do know for the remainder of this season that David De Gea is going to be our number one. He's going to remain our number one because David De Gea has been our number one for several years. But maybe next season, Dean Henderson could be our number one, because Solskjaer did recently say regarding Dean Henderson that, he will become England's number one goalkeeper and Manchester United's number one goalkeeper in the future and all of that. So there you go. There you go on that. But I do want Paul Pogba to start the game on Friday against Tottenham. I really, really do. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.